What's up, guys? It's Chris. Today, I wanted to take a look at a build that completely removes all skill from Survivor and Dead by Daylight. And I have a couple problems with this build that I want to go over at the end of the video. Kicking it off is Live to get 150% speed for 3 seconds for simply vaulting anything. Windows to show auras of every resource on the map nearby. Deja Vu to show 3 generators throughout the match permanently and give 6% gen speed. And Resilience to make you do everything 9% faster for simply being hit. These 4 perks are also in the top 5 most used Survivor perks in the game, and for good reason. They're insanely strong and have no downside while making survivors ridiculously efficient in chase and throughout the game no matter how long they've been playing. But now I want to show just a bit of this build in action just to show you how easy it is. Let's get right into it. Ironworks of Misery. But yeah, this build just makes Survivor so stupid easy to play, and I'm going to show you right away. We can just see the 3 gens closest to each other. We see as Corrupt, and obviously that can be setting up 3 gens pretty easily for the killer. So we're just going to take care of that right away. And I mean, just from start to finish, everything about this build just makes Survivor so stupid easy to play. He does have the Bone Clapper as well. I mean, look, we just see everything on the map. There's very little thinking we actually have to do at any point here. I can just run right into the Corrupt gens. If he's going to commit there, it's going to be wasting a lot of time and let my teammates get the other gens done. So, I mean, now we can just hop on this one. And I am going to talk about some stuff towards the end of this video about what I think we could change with some of these perks. I'm not going to sit here and say that they're super overpowered, but there's a reason they're 4 of the 5 most used perks in the entire game. And it is because it just makes Survivor so easy to play. Anybody could hop on with 4 people running all this stuff and just pretty much win for free against the majority of the roster, as long as they're just average, decent skill level. And yeah, I mean, this gen's already completed by his first chase. Yui could have been cooking one out somewhere. She wasn't, but I mean, yeah, that's and look, again, there's pretty much 0 downtime on generators either in solo queue or whatever. Because you just permanently have info of 3 generators on the map. With this build, you also get Resilience, which means you just straight up do gens 15% faster for existing while injured. Not going to drop that one down. I think we can make this window with our Live. It's very close. Resilience would have done it for us, but we get such massive distance that I can now just pop this. Slam that down. We have a speed boost from this Blight Serum as well, so I can just make it right over to the shack window. Obviously, Resilience is going to be making it real easy to get that vault. Don't really have to think at all. This is just Survivor in a nutshell when you have a build like this. And we're fully healthy, so he's just lost out on all this time trying to chase us. It is just ridiculous, the stuff that you can actually bring on this roll to just... Oh, I don't have any means, which is normally in my build, so now I feel like a clown. I do. Again, you can see on the HUD, though, we're just cranking out generators. I bought so much time and just robbed him of all the pressure in the world. And I'm now on a separate gen, doing a gen 6% faster than I had permanent aura reading on, pretty much. I know gens aren't the most entertaining gameplay, so I'm probably not going to show too much of this here, but I do still want to talk to you guys a little bit here. Another gen popping. And keep in mind, that insta-heal and my Live and everything just bought so much time for this team. It would be absolutely ridiculous for us to ever lose. I'm just cranking this shit out. That's 3 done already. He has 1 hook. We have not been very efficient at all on the generators. We have more progress on other ones. And yeah, it's just looking like an absolute nightmare for this guy. So by the way, this recording's been going for 4 minutes since the start of the game, and we already have basically 4 gens done, and this is his 2nd hook. He did try to commit to us for just a little bit of time, but the stuff we brought in just bailed us out so hard, it didn't really matter what he was up to. And I'm going to be popping another gen, and I can see on our teammate's Kindred that it's not going to go for the save, so I'll do it. And again, end game here, I see all 3 gens on the map, showing me all 3 to do. I know the Vittorio's on that one, probably going to be hopping on it with the Yui. Don't blame this guy at all for trying to sit around here a little bit. I mean, he's in a terrible spot. You have to remember, too, I don't know the builds of my teammates, but the fact that all 4 survivors could run all this stuff, and by that amount of... Look, there's Adrenaline, too. The other perk in the top 5 most common Survivor perks. It just buys so much time and saves so much time for your team that there's basically, you know, if you're not on the top 2 killers. It just buys so much time. I think he just opened the gate for us. I didn't see anybody on the gate. It just buys and saves so much time for the survivors that, I mean, realistically, there's so little the killer can do on most maps. Is he being friendly? No, he's not. Okay, it looks like he's just gonna slug him. We'll have to take that. Yeah, it looks like that's a good game on game number 1. I want to see you guys in another one. Okay, this time we got Garden. And yeah, this is also another thing I forgot to mention. With Survivor, not only can 4 people be running this build, which again, basically plays the game for you. It's just unlimited info no matter what, which is another reason I don't really understand why we're not balancing around Swift at this point in Dead by Daylight with all the info you have, knowing the location of everything on the map, everything that gets dropped every time you want to. You have on-demand info of gens with the HUD telling you exactly what the survivors are doing. They could also bring something disgusting like one of the 20 very survivor-sided maps in the game, and oh man, the game really swings in one way as if it wasn't already. And I'm not really sure what behavior could ever do to like set it up so that, you know, people can't just be all stacking the very, very strong stuff that just, you know, removes skill basically from the game. But, you know, outside of, you know, setting up some kind of perk draft, it's a tough call. Very fast down there by our teammate. I think that was the Rose. Who got down very quickly. There's a pain res. And yeah, she just got unhooked. This shit's popped in no time. Again, the rest of the team not super efficient at all. But when will they be in solo queue? Very rarely. I mean, it's not hard to just throw on Deja Vu and permanently have info of gens and get free gen speed on them. But I'm going to try and get this gen right in the middle of these 3 closest ones here. Looks like Delita's doing that one as well. Looks like he's going to be trying to tunnel that Rose, and she's going down very quickly in her chases, so do not blame him whatsoever. I'm actually going to head off this gen, let Jake take care of that. He's got a spray there too. And we're going to go for one of these gens that are lit up by Deja Vu. That was a bit of a robbery, I think. We got this car pallet, going to be just playing around it a little bit. We do have Lithe, so really in no danger of ever getting mind gamed unless we like totally choked, but that's pretty hard to do with a perk that strong and easy to use. It's just constant bailout. You don't have to think whatsoever with the perk. And yeah, our Lithe is already back up that fast. It's a super short cooldown. Pretty much if the killer leaves to just pressure any gen for any amount of time, it's going to be back up and ready to go to just bail you out whenever you need it. Again, you can see on the HUD, which is good info. I'm not the biggest fan because all I see most of the time is my teammates doing absolutely nothing throughout the game. But, you know, the info is there to constantly be telling you what's going on and who should be going for save and stuff like that. I'm actually going to respect the pain res here for just a sec. No, we don't really have to. If we knew he had DMS, we should do that, but it really doesn't matter. Looks like he is going to be coming this way. Pretty aware to know where I was at off the scream and stuff. I'm going to hold this corner. This is what you want to hold. There we go. Go wide off that. Pretty predictable by him. His timer's pretty short unless you have the egg. He's going to leave right away. I mean, and you can just see everything at all times. You don't have to think about your next move or make any guesses at all. You don't have to make guesses on where gens are going to be, where to run your chase, what your teammates are doing, nothing. You don't have to guess about anything. So game sense is completely out the window with Survivor with this build. You could even take out Resilience here and put on Kindred, whether you're on the hook or somebody else is, and just have 100% info of where everybody is at all times. And if you're on the hook, your teammates get that as well. Ran out of this game pretty quick, but again, he's at 1 gen now. Playing pretty optimally on Killer here, I would say, with a Survivor who really didn't know what she was doing and chased too much. Gen's about 90%, but I am going to try and make it a little bit tougher on him here. Definitely can't stick that quite yet. So all we have to do is hope that the rest of the team is just going to be doing a little bit of work on those gens. And I am not going to be lobbing that down quite yet. I'm actually going to just leave this loop because I'm not positive what he's doing. He could have been cutting through Shack, which it looks like he was. This guy's just walking around randomly. Very good. These maps are really badly made too, which is another problem I have with a build making Survivor take this little thought. It's just the maps are just designed to buy so much free time to begin with. This stuff on top of it is just completely over the top, in my opinion. I do main killer, you guys know that, but still, I think it's pretty fair to say all this strong stuff on top of these perks and items you can bring in to just save insane amounts of time is just a little bit extra. There he comes. Does he want me or the Jake? I can't quite tell. Me. Okay. We'll be able to play this very strong pallet. Stun him there. Pretend to go this way. Okay. We will actually commit this way. Another thing you can just do on Survivor is when you're out of stuff, literally just running into the corner like that just buys so much time. But he does have the really good throwing add-ons. Find as much time as I can there for our teammates. Thanks, buddy. Let's get the hell out of here. I am going to use this Resilience Deja Vu combo to get a free 15% gen speed on this gen and just slam it. If he can just run chase for like 15-20 seconds here, it'll be done before the killer can really do anything. Which, again, to me, is just to say, well, 10's not quite enough. Honestly, though, you got to think, too, with the killer taking so long to get people to the hooks and stuff, there's no way he can make it to this gen in time, so we still do just get it for free. Absolutely insane. And I'm going to just pop this med kit here and hopefully get healed up so we can't get down by an M1. Not too sure what's going through the Thalita's mind at all, but I will be using the speed and this heal to go over to our teammate. Again, this was a game with really inefficient teammates, so it did take longer than you would normally think. Like, super inefficient. If all four of them are running this build, it basically will just play for them. And you can. There is no limitation on perks. Everybody can just run it. She should just run at the gate. I don't know what she's doing. I'm just going to head out. I have no clue. Maybe she'll get hatched or something. She's an odd one. But now I want to talk to you guys about my ideas of how to still keep these perks interesting while not just being completely mindless and saving minutes of time for their team. To start with Lithe, I think this perk is incredibly outdated. You look at something like Dramaturgy, which has the condition of being healthy, gives 125% speed boost for 2 seconds, and has potential downsides for becoming exposed versus this perk, which you can activate just as easily. It's a complete joke. So I have two ideas for Lithe. One, we could reduce the speed boost to 125% for the 3 seconds to still retain its easy to use nature while not just giving cross map distance. And the second is completely converting it to something new, where anytime you would get a medium vault, it's converted to a fast vault on a cooldown similar to current Lithe. This means that while still useful, it actually becomes an interesting perk and leaves it as something with counterplay that doesn't just buy 30 seconds of time minimum. For windows of opportunity, I think we should actually make it a window of opportunity. Meaning, if you fast vault on Survivor, you get 5 to 10 seconds of seeing all nearby resources to help you plan your next move. This perk will then go on cooldown for 45 seconds and can be used outside of chase to help you plan beforehand, but it must be a fast vault, which means you'll give information to the killer and potentially have it down when you would have liked to use it. For resilience, the gen speed needs to be completely removed. People want to make this ridiculous argument that a survivor is taking a risk by staying injured, but most of the time, they simply don't have a choice. They're giving up the time investment of finding a teammate and healing, which helps the killer buy time, and also getting bonus speed to every action in the entire game. Realistically, the survivors are rewarded tremendously for being hit by the killer, which does not make any sense at all to me. And finally, we have Deja Vu, and I think this perk should still reveal the 3 closest generators at the start of the game, even though 3 gen is completely gutted. However, once one of those generators is completed, it is deactivated. It is ridiculous a high-risk perk like Ruin can be cleansed at the start of the game. It is so painfully weak, and it used to deactivate on the first Survivor death not too long ago, yet this grants 6% stacking gen speed throughout the entire match. But I am curious to hear your guys' thoughts on this stuff and whether or not they should be changed. Let me know down in the comments below, but I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one.